Oh, someone's in class. Is that Miss Elmore? I'm going to assume it's Miss Elmore. Could be Mr. Irvin. Yes, Miss Elmore.
Bow to Grand Master Gohring.
Thank you. Bow to second degree and second degree, I'm guessing. All right, let's warm up. I really do actually rely on it. Small classes, yeah, not so big a deal, but if I have a large class, I'm just looking at pants.
Each of these stripes represents a quarter.
Then I'll put you on camera. And switch. You're hiding behind the pole. If we do move to a new location, no pole to hide behind anymore.
Yeah, that's a dream right there.
Yeah.
When are we gonna know?
Whenever they get back to me. Yep. I'll give it till Monday and then I'll ask them. I mean, it's either going to be yes, or it's going to be no, or it's going to be yes, but you know, like if I made an offer, they either say yes or no or counter it.
But they agree you want to go definitely.
Well, it depends on the terms.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
assuming
I couldn't pay that new rent tomorrow, so no. If they said no, you'd have to pay the full current rent. I'd say no. I could, you know, because I'd be paying liable for 2 rents at the same time, and but I don't know. You know, it's their place. It's not mine. This building's not mine. That map right there is mine, and the camera is. And switch. That one feels real good. You feel it? Like in the sacrum, the lower back. When you do those circles. Feels like a little massage in the lower back. All right. Put it forward. But I got my best feedback on the proposal, or on that, because not everyone's on Facebook. So after I sent the email out, because it is pretty much still private. It's really only people in the school that know. When I sent that out, I got good feedback from Aiden Evans' mom, and she hadn't even seen it all yet. But it was a mom's perspective. So I thought it was very insightful. She said, you know, that's going to be very good that parents can't watch class anymore, because then the kids will be able to be themselves and be trained by when they're being themselves, as opposed to how they might modify how they are when their parents are around. So I was like, interesting. Because there really wouldn't be room. This room has 2 walls worth of seating. The other location would have maybe at most 7 seats total. It really won't be set up for people to sit and watch.
you're gonna have to modify the forms.
No, not at all. We'll have to modify the forms less, because it's this wide. It's the pole to the gong, and that's where everyone takes class anyways.
You're gonna unmodify
but
the forms.
yeah, I'll have to unmodify it, because what do we do every time we go this way? Scoot back. What do we go that way? Scoot back. We're always crowded against these 2. And essentially, it'll be twice as wide as this floor, and twice as narrow the other way. Or half, or however you say it. Half as narrow. Did you say twice as narrow, or half as narrow? Interesting. English language. Oh, tragedy. Also, we would have 6 bathrooms instead of 2. For changing stuff.
leadership because the room is so long. You might, at some point, want to choose one of the students to be up in the front.
Oh, that's a-
someone way
Yeah,
down.
yeah, that's how leadership works.
I mean, with,
No, I mean, that's how it works. That is how it's designed.
okay.
Yeah. It's just we don't need our leadership to be up there in this class. Or a lot of classes. Switch. But yes, that's exactly how we would do it. But a typical class right now, maybe before COVID, wasn't more than 8 or 9 students anyways. So we have like 22 spots in this room for someone to comfortably take class. And I think it drops to 18 in the other spot. So. And the only time that the class is that large is when most of them are children. So,
It's just the angle of seeing you or close.
oh yeah, yeah.
It's the less of the angle of seeing.
And yeah, do we do this one first? Last class, did we do the embracing horse first or this one?
Embracing this.
Okay, yeah. Let's do embracing horse first. And by the way, embracing horse is one of the 11 Chen Qigongs, okay? And I find it to be, still, this is for you at home and us here. You know, someone who's trained a long time like myself and the years that y'all are approaching as well, you know, you have such a huge toolbox of things that you can do. And the more sensitive you become to your own body, what you're feeling, and maybe the injuries you get just from something as simple as a misstep and a wrenching of a back or a knee or whatever, you have all these tools, especially in Yang style Tai Chi and Chen, to rehab yourself, along with actual rehab that's appropriate, whether it be chiropractic or physical therapy or orthopedic surgery. So, anyways, we'll only hold for about 3 minutes. So we'll just do embracing horse. Release. All right. Then the lengthening marrow washing, chi soothing method. yin yang balancing, chi mobilizing. Okay, we've been just running the form, making sure, seeing if we can still, including the instructor, can still get the order of the series correct. So unless you have a specific question, yep, let's start from the top. Okay, it doesn't do that. Here. Easy peasy. That end off camera. I ended off camera. Sorry guys. Huh. Goes over here, right? Nothing's on camera. Comments, questions, suggestions?
Slower.
Oh, slower.
It's hard to get quality movements very fast.
Yeah. That's about the pace. You know, I think that's about the pace, except we slowed it down in some parts because we can't really spin. But that would be the goal, is that pace.
I'm just repeating it, so.
You have it from the beginning to end?
Pretty sure I would like to say I do, but I mean,
Okay. Well, how about this? Because I know you'll go to a slower pace, and that'll be a practice round for you with the pressure, and a practice round for you at a slower pace. So, Ms. Burns, we do the honors. If you're at home, yeah, you said you were okay with it. You didn't. Yeah, I asked you last time. Otherwise, I wouldn't put you on the spot. All right. So, I'll kind of watch and kind of not watch, so you don't get extra nervous. If you're at home, this should be a slower pace. And if you're watching this as a recording, which is doubtful these days, but maybe if you are watching this 10 years from now or something, and you tell me, remind me, like, hey, someone actually watched that video one day. What I'm trying to tell you is the recording, you can put it at a lower speed too, to just get it to slow down. All right, take a couple deep breaths, and then follow Ms. Burns. Oh, very, very good, very good. Very good, very good. So hopefully you at home were able to follow as well. And I watched behind the camera so I could see. And you actually were on the screen the whole time. At the very end, where I was too, this is like
Right there.
I would probably be like a bubble person way over here. But not that it's not meant for, I mean, I hope that you know the sequence well enough that you don't need to beam in on who's leading it the whole entire time, just the pace setter, right? Okay, take a breath for a second, and let me see if there's anything to look at. Any questions about any of it now that you did it on your own without following? Because I could talk about that while y'all catch y'all's breath.
Yeah, I mean, I guess getting, okay, let's see if I can get there.
Take your time. This is also to kind of let everyone catch their breath here and at home.
So getting into that first, I feel like I'm missing a step there maybe.
Oh, at the beginning of the form?
Very beginning.
Okay, so the first oblique.
Yes.
Okay. So first oblique, let's just, you can watch or you can copy me. It's so close to the beginning of the form, I should just go to the beginning of the form. So, and I'm not doing the whole thing. And I will still face away in case you want to reference it. We have our step, we have our sinking, we have our wrists up to shoulder level, wrists all the way down close to the legs, and then the twist, and then the turn, shift, sink, step big, shift, little circle, and pop up, down, up, down. We have the explosion, and then a stretch, turn, and in, and out, here. Fondly called the happy birthday pose. Here. Then we come into the single whip. Twist, twist. Sink for your step. Traditional single whip. Two fists. Step, step. Runk. And runk. And jump. Then here we are. Right? From here, we twist left, right, left palm open, elbow. So it's tight, right? Now, crane stance, or I should say white crane, spread wings. Then it's a jump ball change with the arms swinging and a step forward. If we do the step forward, the left hand can come down, the left hand can come up, and then you center here. As you drop though, it twists in, and you do that fist move that we do 2 more times at the end of the form. We didn't recognize it as such until we made it to the end of the form. I would not recommend talking the whole time you were leading it in low stances.
Sorry, I think I was missing
I
that
didn't
white
get a
thing.
single breath in.
Okay.
Did that clarify?
Yeah, I think I was missing like the white crane, like that quick like come up.
Yeah, no, I can do a pickup now from there. We have this guy here. We drop, and we jump, and we've landed. Then we come up for a split, left, right, left around, elbow. So from here, you should say from protect the heart. It's just this, but then he jumps like 1,000 miles, and that part's fast, and then and all the things are. I think his hair bounces each time. All right, take a break and then come back with fan. Is there anything else on Erlu? Okay. Erlu conclude. Let's go to fan. Catch your breath, get a drink, find a fan. I also find doing a little bracing horse, it's weird to follow my own instruction, which really isn't my instruction anyways, it's the instruction I've received. But to kind of go, hey, if you really want to make your form better, sit in bracing horse for a little while and really feel the whole body relax, except the thighs, of course, and that sinking and that centering. It does help the body start to connect.
So I feel it more in my feet than I do in my thighs.
So this is a good embracing horse correction. So you like your feet are getting hot? No?
I just definitely feel the pressure. That's where I feel the pressure more.
Well, you're not a beginner, you're a beginner in yang style, right? So she says, hey, when I do embracing horse, where I feel it is not the thighs, I feel it in the feet. But I said, like, they hurt or they burn, and she said, no, it's just like she feels it in the feet, okay? So it might be a personal correction, but having had this question before, and also having observed this question being answered by my teachers when it was asked of them when I was barely a black sash, although there was burning in their feet. And it's because they were, you know, I come from this is pre-Professor Williams, I come from a Kung Fu lineage. So the Kung Fu are in a positive way knuckleheads, like they're into it. They want to fight, they want to defend themselves, they want to take the most devastating techniques, and they're real intense about their approach, okay? So that's that. And so if they're doing embracing horse, they're like, let's do this, you know, it'd be like this real serious, intense attitude and low position and feeling your chi drop, and then their feet catch on fire because they're too down. So if you feel it more in your feet, I would say you, in this case, you might be forward too much on your feet, and then you want to feel sitting back. And then to feel a lightness in your arms, even though you're trying to relax, like if you were doing this in water and you wanted to create the feeling of your arms floating and being buoyant, because it may still be the same cause, different symptom. If you feel it in your feet but it's not burning, you've been training a long time, it would bother you and you're on your feet for a living, right? So you're not feeling burning, you're like, I'm on my feet anyways. So you have to keep the knees bent but make it feel a lightness, like you're trying to make the upper part, that's it, okay? And now you feel buoyancy in your whole posture, but you want to still feel the tuck in. Yeah, the pelvis tuck in. Because once you get the pelvis tuck in and the lower back becomes flexible enough, tucking in doesn't feel forced. It feels like, oh, I'm just relaxing there. But if it's too tense, you try to tuck in, it feels like, oh, I'm trying to like doing sit-ups while I'm standing. It's like, oh, I'm doing tucking in like the teacher said. And it's like, okay, yeah, maybe when you're a beginner. But at some point you gotta be able to tuck in and it not be about being super low or tensing everything around your middle. Because you want, if everything's tense, you couldn't do those moves. But you have to have it loose enough that power can go through your core. But if the core is jacked up from injury, lack of use, lots of sitting, or lots of, you know, standing like I do too for a living. I stand for a living, and it's on hard floors with bad shoes, you know. My back hurts a lot, and now I'm old enough to appreciate the benefits of Tai Chi. Is that enough chat? You ready to do the form?
Yes, sir.
Whew. Luckily we're doing fan form. Hot summer days. Someone who's watching pointed something out to me when she saw the space, is that we're walking we're easy walking distance to a park, 2 parks. Actually, she pointed out one, and I realized there's another one. And we're friends with the apartments behind us, and they built this nice, huge, shaded park with benches and trees. So in the spring and fall, we could be like, hey guys, grab your fan, we're going up the hill. And we just walk out the back door and take like a 3-minute walk, and we're underneath a tree in the breeze and in a park that no one uses. So, okay, let's do the form from the top. Yeah, well, yeah, and it's away from the road, because I did tell someone else when I showed her, a different person, we can practice out there by Airport Boulevard on the lawn. They're like, yes, and I'm like, no, because you're going to get hi-ya'd to death for the whole class. There's a bunch of hi-ya'ing. Even for advertising, I don't think you have to subject the students to that. All right, you Guys ready at home too? Here we go, fan form. And begin. Easy peasy. You can tell I work with kids. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, and we're all over 30 here. Well, that's one thing I like about Tai Chi and Kung Fu. It makes you feel like a kid again in so many ways. Short-term goals,
So,
learning cool stuff, taking tests, saying yes sir and no sir. Yeah?
what is this hand doing when you come in? Is it just?
Yeah, it does that.
It
So
does
the-
that? Okay, that can't
yeah, I had the
see
same. I had the same question. Like, well, what are we doing there? Okay, so talking about cloud hands into the cat stance, into the skipping turn, not really a monkey hop, but kind of remember doubles it. So we step behind here, we go here, we step behind here, and then we go here, and they just kind of pull in. And I don't think the left hand does anything significant.
Just out of the way.
I'll go research it, yeah. Prayer position's fine. Because you're just turning around and closing, and then it opens up by the end. So that you can bring it in and come up. I'll research it. I could be completely wrong. It might go behind you. It does seem like it can go behind you like this. It seems like after you've done the two, it can go like this. But that's just going off centrifugal force, not off of any semblance of an application. Yes?
Oh, for some reason my balance isn't great when I'm doing that.
Yep.
Any suggestions on how to?
Yes. So, does that kind of?
Yeah, yeah.
Again, I'll research to see, like, because you're like, where does
I just
this
wanted to
hand
make
go?
sure it wasn't doing anything
It's kind of.
completely.
I mean, it seems like it should seem like almost like it's going like. You know. Anyways, I'll have to look that one up. And I haven't gone to any other videos yet than the main one. And I haven't gone to it anytime recently. So if I look through it, I might see some other little things that would be appropriate to go over at this stage for those who have memorized the routine at this point. So the other question is, how do you maintain balance on the kicking, flipping, catching the bang part? So it's like right after you've done that, when you come here, this, you have balance or no balance?
Sometimes no. I
So
don't know why.
my hand naturally goes back here. I'm not sure if that's correct, but it's good to understand that when the right knee comes up, that's when the hips are allowed to not be level. Oh, and also might be that you're looking this way if you're copying me when you should look that way.
We're even looking that way sometimes.
Yeah. So. All I can say is my hand back here works. My hand here, don't feel balanced. So my hand has to be back, but I'm not sure exactly where back it might be according to the video we're using. But I was gonna say, just like let the fan be in front of your chest.
Right, I'm just seeing
Okay,
the
yeah.
hand
But yeah,
balance is best.
do that. So the other thing is, now this is just a generic answer for the problem. And now this is a golden rooster problem from Yang style. You'll get to it someday, not too distant future. There's this thing that you think, oh, I need to keep my hips square and level to the ground. Well, if you did golden rooster like that, you would slowly fall that way. And if you've ever kicked something with your knee, and I have, whether it be just a ball with your knee, or a bag, or a shield is ideal, you would find out that you need to turn your hips and lift your hips at the same time you go forward, and pivot on the back foot a little. And that's golden rooster. See how high I can bring the golden rooster? I couldn't bring this knee up this high if I didn't naturally turn my hips to the left and have the right hip forward a little bit more than the left. Yeah. So if I'm doing this is like coming up into golden roosters anyways. I would have to have the knee up higher, which means the hips up higher, which means the weight of my leg is tilted into the support of the back leg in the hip socket. Yeah, you have to help it feel natural. You know, you get your little space at home to practice on a surface that your feet can pivot easily on, and then just think about just bringing a knee up. Grab a pillow and just bring a knee up to kick. And if you did that and didn't try to stay balanced, you would click into a position for a second that would be the same as that knee. Like the whole thing's all set up to be centered around my left hip socket and to move around my dantian.
Tops and your back
Yeah.
too.
Well, to a degree, but not on this move. I mean, you could say a little bit, yeah. Oh, also my shoulders. So the shoulders go with the hips. So if I try to keep my shoulders square, I'd also mess up the naturalness. That's it. There it is. There's your balance. Okay? So, and to punctuate that, he got it with that instruction. So anyone who's watching this video at any time, with that, the question was answered, and he came up to that position, was like, oh, it should feel light and effortless. That's Tai Chi. If it feels straining, well, that might be you're a beginner at it, right? And you haven't found a balance, and it doesn't come easy. You have to practice. But to punctuate it, play Tai Chi is what we say. We don't say do Tai Chi. So when you're you're serious, of course, you're coming to class. Maybe not as serious as those guys that I trained with back in the 80s. But you're serious about it, but you have to play it. So you have to have a lightness about it. So you're so serious, this is a C.K. Chu quote, you have to be so serious about it. And then you have to not care. Like there's some combination of not caring, which creates a space for act kind of like, oh, there it is, huh? Because you're not so like, I gotta get this, and I'm terrible at, or I'm great at, nothing. It's just like, I don't care. And you're like, whoa, I don't care, and you have to kind of, that's C.K. Chu's quote. You must have a don't care sort of attitude to get good at Tai Chi. But we know that's not literal.
So that's what I have a tendency to want to. So it should be kind of just bringing it up or pointing the
Oh, okay. So
down.
here's another question. This is a question though of someone who trains Kung Fu first. So in Kung Fu, it isn't like this. Kung Fu is like you are going to be balanced in your position, and it'll strain you. So here I can't. I'm tensed in so many places to keep my knee here. But I can. I know Kung Fu. And I'm still young enough that it doesn't matter. Okay? But at some point, if you're like, that's hurting my back. So we have to be balanced with it. And the question really was, well, if the toe doesn't point, it has to be loose. I'm like, yeah. If you want to have power, and our Kung Fu that we do is Tiger Crane, and so you have done this looseness in the crane kick. That floppy crane kick, that's your Tai Chi kick. Your sparring basics kick, no, it's not that one. Your sparring basics knee, kind of with the dynamic and the use of the power in your hips. But you also aren't like tensing and straining and stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's a habit I have to kick because every time I want to go into it, I want to be like, protect the knee. But
Yeah, protect the knee and kick. Yeah, so you're doing your other trainings interfering with this training. And that's okay, and now you can understand over time when I'm teaching where I'm like, oh, yeah, that's not this art. This is another martial art that I learned this in. How does it apply here? Anyways, anyone up for leading the fan? Okay, you can't, yeah. Nope, okay.
not yet.
Then we still have a transition for another class, so do you have any other questions? No. Well, let me think if there's anything. Yeah, so after you do this move here, you still do anything from last class as a mistake. When you go here, the next foot should go straight to the corner. Yours is going straight to the wall. Okay, so that's a simpler way of saying that's it. Yeah, and I think I don't have
You got
because
this
it's-
diagonal and then this straight
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, and so I think when the large class, I don't remember everything, but with small class, I remember when you were explaining like how hard it is to practice in a small space and looking over your shoulder and all that. So that's one that gets missed.
It's helped a lot to modify it to make sure I don't get too close and everything. I can a
Yeah.
lot better
Yeah, you need to pay
at
attention.
size of stuff.
So just one more time for the camera and for you. If I've done the kick, I've opened up here, then I open here, I close and kick, bring it back and flip, cross with a step, swing the arms out and shoot the left leg straight to the corner, then turn to the back corner, and then strike to the corner fast. Then we just turn, step, step, slap, and then the rest. Okay? Okay, let's do it from the top one last time.
Sure.
You did? Let's try again.
It's-
We were not expecting anyone. They definitely feel embarrassed. Here we go again. The earlier recording was a better one, at least for my performance. Trying to palace customers. That's the other thing about that location. It used to be a Cash America, so if we did get it, it still has the buzzer for the door. So I could leave the door locked at all times whenever I wanted to and just buzz people in. All right, you guys ready to bow out?
Yes, sir.
Good class. Well, it was for me. Hopefully it was for you. Felt good to practice all those times. Get to feel loosened up. Honor the masters who came before us and seek to follow their examples.
Battle Grand Master Gohring.
Thank you. About a second degree black sashes and black sashes at home. Have fun.